Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. I just wanted to apologize first because I haven't filmed any videos for you guys within the last week, and I'm sorry for that. It's just because I've been busy with work because I started school this week, and I just wanted to get some work hours in before I started school and have another busy schedule ahead of me. I'm actually going to be pre-recording some videos for you guys tonight because I wanted to have some videos for you guys throughout the week rather than coming home and filming a video every night. So this is going to be the shot that you're going to be seeing for the next week, and I hope you don't mind. I also want to give out a quick shout out to Gina from In Cold Lit. She created my banners for my YouTube channel as well as my Twitter. When I asked her how she made her banner for her channel, she told me, and I just was kind of frustrated because I told her that I didn't know how to work with the side of technology. She gave me some designs, and I picked out two that I picked for both my channel, and for my YouTube channel and for my Twitter channel. So thank you again, Gina. I can't thank you enough for making these banners for me. I love them so much, and I appreciate all you've done for them. Alright, so today I'm going to be showing you my end of the year wrap up, and I was going to make it just a December wrap up, but there's just some books that I read within the last few months of 2014 that I just didn't want to leave out. And these are all the books that got me out of my reading slump, which is quite amazing because I read, how many did I read? 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 12 books. I read 12 books within the last months of 2014. Let's get started. The first books that I read probably in November was the first 3 books in the Bloodline series by Richelle Mead. These are the first 3 books in the Vampire Academy spin-off series, which contains of the first book, Bloodlines, the second book, Golden Lily, and the third book, Indigo Spell. These were rereads for me just because the last book is coming out next month, and I wanted to have everything fresh in mind while I was going to read the last book in the series, and I just didn't really want to be confused. I haven't read these books in a while, so I wanted to have everything fresh in mind before I get into the next books. The next books that I read in December was the first 3 books in the Harry Potter series. I don't have Sorcerer's Stone with me today just because I'm letting somebody borrow it right now. So yeah, right now. I read Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone, Chamber of Secrets, and Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban. I participated in this booktube event where everybody shared their love for the Harry Potter series. It was a read a watch along-a-thon that happened throughout the month of December where everybody got to read the books of Harry Potter as well as watch the movies throughout the month of December. It was a big event that was held on Twitter, created by Maureen Keevy, which it was awesome. It was so fun participating in this booktube event, in this event, because I got to meet some really cool people. In order for me to participate in the Harry Christmas 2, I only had to read 1 book in the Harry Potter series, which in this case, I read the first 3 books, which were the shortest books in the series. So it's quite accomplished. I was very accomplished reading these books. I obviously gave, I forgot I rated those books. I rated these books 5 out of 5 stars on Goodreads. I mean, come on, who can give these books like lower than 5 stars on Goodreads? Come on now. You gotta be an idiot if you want to rate these books below 5 stars on Goodreads. Come on now. The next set of books that I read in the last month of 2014 were books that I read for the Christmas Booktubeathon. If you haven't heard of the Booktubeathon, it is a readathon booktube event that happens in July where everybody reads for a week. You basically read, they have reading challenges and then video challenges that is held throughout the week in July. But in December, Ariel from Ariel Brissett announced that there's going to be the Christmas Booktubeathon, which is a much relaxed version compared to the Booktubeathon in July. It happened from the 20th to the 22nd in December, which I successfully completed all 3 challenges that Ariel Brissett announced for the Christmas Booktubeathon, and I am so glad I did. So let me show you the books that I read for the Christmas Booktubeathon. The first book that I read that completed the challenge of read a book that was gifted to you was The Hunger Games by Suzanne Collins. This was actually a first read for me because I was so against The Hunger Games when I first heard of it, because when the movies were starting to come out, it was starting to become a competition for Twilight, and at the time I was a huge Twihard. I didn't have any interest at all reading these books because it was such a huge competition for Twilight within the movies and comparisons to the books, and I just been so against it. And then when my friend Kayla gave it to me, I just figured why not. I tried to read it, but then I ended up picking this book 4 times before I finally read it. And then when Ariel announced that one of the challenges was reading a book that was gifted to you, I knew that this was going to be perfect. This booktubeathon was going to be the last motivation I needed to freaking read this book. And oh my gosh, this book was pretty good. It was, I always picked it up and put it down just because it has such a slow-paced beginning, and I never really, that just was always what put me off. I just find the first couple of pages of the book quite boring, but then I just kept motivating myself reading because I knew I wanted to finish this book for the Christmas Booktubeathon, and yeah, I managed to finish this book, and I freaking loved it. I was surprised that I actually read this book because I never find myself reading it because I just didn't find interest in reading it, and I was surprised by it. I actually liked it. It was a really good book, and I gave this book a 4 out of 5 stars on Goodreads. The next reading challenge that I completed for the Christmas Booktubeathon was read a book that you've been meaning to read this year, and that is Fiery Heart by Richelle Mead. I bought this the year it was published, and it was published, I think, in... yeah. This book was published in 2013. I got it the year it came out, and it's just been sitting on my shelf since. It took me such a long time to read this book because, as I said before, I've been in a huge reading slump, and I never really had huge motivations to get back into reading, especially since I bought the 4th book in my favorite series, or at least a spin-off to my favorite series, and I knew this was the perfect book for the book that I've been meaning to read this year. I have been wanting to read this book since it came out, and I've just been putting it off, but I'm so glad I got to read it for the Christmas Booktubeathon, and I gave this a 5 out of 5 stars on Goodreads. And the last challenge that I completed for the Christmas Booktubeathon was read a book with red and green on the cover, and that was Side Effects May Vary by Julie Murphy. It has red on the check mark and green on the word May. Yeah, May. Yeah. So I kind of like this book, but it just didn't really satisfy me that much. I mean, some parts was good and some parts were not that great. I just thought this book was okay. It didn't really wowed me, but I mean, I liked it. Yeah. It's about a girl. I didn't even tell you. I'm sorry, guys. I'm all off today. I just got home from school. It's about a girl named Alice who just gets diagnosed with cancer, and she wants to get back at all the people that did her wrong. And with the help from her friend Harvey, he helps her out. But then when she gets, with the help from her friend Harvey, but then when she realizes she gets remission, she has to face her consequences on her actions. I thought it was okay. It didn't really wow me. I'm sorry, this is my sister's dog, Avery. It didn't really wow me compared to other books that I read, but I just thought it was okay, and I gave this a 3 out of 5 stars on Goodreads. The next books that I read were part of the Cramathon. I didn't really do well with the Cramathon just because, I might as well show you on camera. This is my sister's dog, Avery. Look at the camera. You're now on camera. Look, this is my sister's dog, Avery. He is trying to bug me right now while I'm filming, and I apologize for that, but he needs love and attention. I'm filming this while my sister's at work, and he's been alone all day. I just got back home from school at 6 o'clock. So if you're wondering why there's a dog on the screen, that's why. He's just got lonely during the day. So yeah, this is my dog. This is my sister's dog, Avery. He's adorable. Yes, you are. You are adorable, but you're still in my shot anyways. Alright, the next books that I read were part of the Cramathon, and I didn't really successfully complete it like I did with the Christmas Booktubeathon, just because the dates coincided with each other. It held from the 21st to Christmas Eve, and I just couldn't get through. I didn't really complete any of the challenges just because I didn't have books pertaining to some of the challenges. And let me show you the books I completed for the Cramathon. The first book that I read for the Cramathon was The Tales of Beetle the Bard by J.K. Rowling. This has the wizarding children's stories that Ron mentioned in the Deathly Hallows movie. It was a really cute read. I enjoyed some of the children books. I really enjoyed this series. It has the stories of the wizard and the hopping pot, the fountain of fair fortune, the warlock's hairy heart, Babbity Rabbity and her cackling stump, and the last one, The Tale of Three Brothers, which I was really excited to read these stories because I wanted to know what these stories were about, as well as reading anything by J.K. Rowling, basically. Yeah. And I gave this a 5 out of 5 stars on Goodreads. Okay. Alright. The next book that I read for the Cramathon was The Short Life of Bree Tanner by Stephenie Meyer. This completed the challenge of reading a hardback as well as a novella. I originally gave this book a 2 out of 5 stars on Goodreads, and that was a long time ago before I read. I kind of gave it that rating because I remembered it being kind of boring when I gave it that 2 stars a while back, and I reread it for the second time, and I thought it was a lot better reading it the second time. I'm sorry, I keep forgetting I keep forgetting to tell you what these stories are about. This is about, this is the short novella for the Twilight series, and it's mainly about the newborn Bree. She shows up after the fight between the newborn army versus the Cullens, and it kind of gives you the story, but it kind of gives you the story of what happened on the newborn army side. Like we knew what was, if you read the Twilight series, we knew what was going on in the Cullen side, like how they prepared to battle and whatnot. But then we never really got to see the other side because we were always in Bella's point of view. This just kind of gave you a look on what was happening on the newborn army side, like what was their prep for the fight, or what was the story that they were hearing from Riley of the army that they were gonna fight, or whatever, or the clan that they were gonna fight. And all in the end, it ended up being a nightmare, and Bree ended up getting killed. So, yeah. Yeah, I gave this book a 4 out of 5 stars on Goodreads. And the last books that I read for 2014 was Avery Move, the rest of the Hunger Games trilogy, Catching Fire and A Mockingjay. Oh man, this series is so good. I thought Hunger Games was cool, but when I immediately went, after reading The Hunger Games, I immediately bought book 2 and book 3. And I read the series within over 10 days between, the Christmas Booktubeathon as well as the Cramathon. And I got these books because I really wanted to know what happened next. I liked The Hunger Games, but I was really satisfied with the ending of the book, and I wanted to know what happened next. So when I saw that this was selling next door where I work at, and I got a Walmart gift card making me get Mockingjay, yeah, I really loved these books. These were so good. I thought these books were 10 times better than The Hunger Games, and these books were just so good. I think Mockingjay is my favorite out of the trilogy. I don't know, because I was kind of bitter with one certain character getting not a happy ending like I thought he was going to, and yeah, but these books were so good. And I finally realized why everybody says that the Catching Fire is a great book to movie adaptation. I was basically watching the movie while reading this book. It was amazing. So there you have it. I know it was a little rough around the edges. I'm kind of rusty after not filming for a while. I apologize for that again. But I am trying I just did get back home from school, so I'm kind of scatterbrained from the day, but I really wanted to get a video posted for you guys. The 12 subscribers, the 12 people that are subscribed to my channel, thank you so much for subscribing, and I hope you guys have a great morning, noon, or night. Thanks for watching. Goodbye!